Welcome to Open the Book. You look very different now from when you were first born. And today we're going to hear about somebody who grows from a tiny baby into an adult. So I want you to imagine that all these are really the same person. There's some ordinary counting in today's story, up to 6.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
But we can also count groups of things. An army is made up of groups of soldiers called platoons. A platoon is normally made up of between 16 and 50 soldiers, but of course we don't have that many people. So here's one platoon. Here's another. And here's a third platoon. So, if you want to join in today, you can count platoons of soldiers. 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3. That's brilliant. Let's get started.
Hello. If I had to hide something and keep it very safe, where do you think I'd hide it? In my pocket? In a cupboard? Under the bed? What if the thing I had to hide was a baby? What would I do then? Where is a good place to hide a baby? I wonder. In today's story, a baby is hidden. I wonder where they hid it. Let's open the book and look at the story called Snatched to Safety.
Queen Athaliah swept through the land with a dagger in her hand. "No one shall live," she cried. "No one shall live who can take the throne from me. All the king's children must die." And that meant me, Prince Joash. Of course, I was only a baby, so I can't remember being rescued from death, but I was told that as the Queen stormed into the front doors of the palace, my aunt grabbed me from my cot and escaped out through the back door. She ran as fast as she could all the way to the temple, and she hid me there in a secret room and hoped that the Queen would never find me. For 6 long years,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Queen Athaliah ruled the country. They were dark and difficult years. Good people were treated badly, and bad people were treated well and prospered. For 6 long years,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I was hidden in the temple. I grew up learning to play quietly, to laugh softly, and to be very careful who saw me. Not that the Queen ever came to the temple. She wasn't interested in worshipping God or following his laws. She was just interested in doing evil, and she had lots of spies to help her. Then one day, when I was 7 years old, my uncle, who was a priest in the temple, came to see me. "Joash, I have a plan to save the people from their misery. I am going to crown you as the true king of Judah, and so end the rule of the wicked Queen Athaliah." It was a brave but dangerous plan because the Queen was very powerful and ruthless. She had a band of desperate men who would kill at her command. But my uncle knew that there were still some good soldiers who would be happy to protect a new king of Judah, and that king was going to be me. My uncle had secret talks with the commanding officers, and they promised to protect me. Then they came up with a cunning plan to outwit the Queen. They would make sure that on the day of my coronation, not just one platoon of soldiers, one, would be on duty, not even two, but 1, 2, 3 whole platoons of soldiers would form a guard all around the temple. On the chosen day, my uncle took me from my hiding place and made me stand at the entrance of the temple in front of everybody. He put a crown on my head and shouted, "Joash, I crown you King of Judah." Then everyone cheered, everyone clapped, everyone shouted, "Long live the king! Long live the king! Long live the king!" The Queen's spies ran to tell her straight away. But when she arrived, she couldn't get through. Her way was barred by 1, 2, 3, 3 platoons of soldiers, all with their swords pointing towards her. "Stop!" shouted the commanding officer. "You cannot come in. By order of King Joash, the new king." Athaliah was in such a temper. She stamped her feet and yelled, "Treason!" She jumped up and down and screamed, "Traitors!" She even tore her clothes, she was so furious. But she knew she was beaten. Her evil rule had come to an end. I was now the king. I would follow God's laws. I would be a good king.
So, where was the baby hidden? Yes, in the temple. I wouldn't like to try and hide a baby, would you? They're a bit noisy, aren't they? Joash had a brave auntie and uncle to take care of him and keep him safe. Close your eyes and think of how small and fragile a baby is. Perhaps you know a baby and can understand how much looking after they need. Now, I'm going to say a prayer, and if you want to make it your prayer, say Amen after me at the end. Dear God, thank you for keeping Prince Joash safe. Help us to remember the children all over the world who are in danger today. Please protect them and give them a safe place to grow up. Amen.